Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of Channel Update. So, this time around, it's been a while actually since we've done one of these. And it's actually my fault. I had the opportunity to do one a couple of weeks back because I had some downtime, but I didn't really want to do it. I don't know. I don't even remember what I did or how I justified it, and I'm sorry. I should have probably done it. And sometimes I'm a bit of a jerk when it comes to that. Now it's been pretty crazy. Aside from that, as you might know, there's a lot of stuff in the real world that has to be done before we can actually get to the gaming side. Because obviously, you know, we do this because we love it, not because it's actually making us any money or anything of that nature. In fact, it's actually taking money away from us because I don't know you guys, but I don't get free games. So, though sometimes I get like a game that might be, you know, like on a deal or whatever, I'm usually putting money into this. So, but I really like doing it. I really love doing it. I really love having fun with it. So I don't really see what the problem is. So, having said that, yes, there are things in real life that are sort of quite necessary. So I've been a bit busy with my work. This is my final class to finish my master's degree, which might surprise you to hear that I'm actually doing my master's degree, because some of you might get the idea that I'm a lot younger than I am, which I'm not. I just happen to sound a bit younger, and not like this, you know, old guy who plays video games. In any case, what I think is another factor is, of course, trying to look for another job, because once you sort of get involved in media production or anything related to film, film reviews, you know, online media, whatever it is, it's kind of tough to get a position that you're going to be satisfied with, and sometimes we have to resort to working outside of the field. But I'm not going to keep on boring you with those details. But that's, you know, just crazy stuff that I have to deal with in order to be able to, you know, continue making these videos. Aside from that, I did take some rather interesting and amazing downtime. I recently went up north with a couple of friends. So north of Montreal, of course, and it's still winter-y. I mean, we just started spring, so there's not a whole lot of snow right now. But we went up north a couple of weeks back, and it was just jam-packed with snow. I mean, I couldn't actually walk on the snow even with snowshoes. I would just sink right into. It was probably about a meter deep. And we decided that what we were going to do is we were going to build an igloo, or a snow cave, more appropriately, and that we were going to sleep in there. But unfortunately, as soon as I left the car and my leg sort of sunk into the snow and my other leg was kind of up high, my pants just split down the crotch completely. And because I am such a champ, I wasn't wearing long johns, which you should probably do if you're expecting to sleep inside a snow cave or an igloo. But I wasn't wearing any long johns, and I didn't bring any other additional pants except pajama pants. So for the remainder of the trip, I actually helped my friends in building the igloo slash snow cave with these torn pants. And the next day, of course, to get back home, I actually just had to wear my pajama pants all the way back home, which was fine. I mean, we were driving in a car, so it wasn't a big deal. We did stop by a couple of places, actually one place to get some food, and I just got down and I was like, whatever, I don't care. And yeah, so that's really what happened with that, and that was pretty amazing. And if I feel up to it, I might put up a picture of us standing on top of an igloo or showing you some of the igloo things. But I thought it was cool because we're sort of, we like to get into the whole like nature aspect of the thing, you know, the survivalists and whatnot. And playing Firewatch sort of got me, you know, craving that nature content. And there's going to be a future game that's going to be coming up on the channel that's going to be pretty amazing as well. And that's just going to make us crave even more nature contact and whatnot. But it's also going to be very relevant to what I've been talking about. For those of you who don't really know how bad the weather can get, and I don't mean like, you know, terrible. I mean it's pretty amazing. I like the snow and I like the cold and it's awesome, but it's not that great once you're sort of stuck in that for a couple of months. I think a couple of weeks are fine. A couple of months, it's a bit much. But anyways, when we get to that, then I'll sort of clarify. I don't want to really jump the gun on this. So I'm just going to sort of like move on a little bit more and see what else we have to talk about. So of course, let's get to talking about the games. And we just finished Firewatch, which was pretty amazing, I gotta say. Firewatch was the last episode came out on Sunday, and what is awesome about that is that it was something that I decided to release outside of the regular schedule that I've been posting on, which is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the reason for that is usually Monday is the day that YouTube has sort of like the lowest traffic and videos don't do as great. Although, for the most part, for Firewatch, it's been very, very steady. And in fact, I've been having a lot of people who have been, you know, constantly writing me either on the channel through private message or through Reddit, or even Vote. Yes, that's right, I use Vote. About doing more episodes. So that's amazing. And that's something that it keeps me going. So I really, really, really did enjoy doing Firewatch. It was an awesome game. I liked the story. I sort of loved the misdirection and everything that had me doubting myself and the character. So that was something that was very, very cool. And it's over. So we now have to move on to something else. Because we were 100% engaged in Firewatch. So there are some other games that I'm looking forward to. And those are, of course, I will say that right now. It's King's Quest. King's Quest is coming back. I sort of stopped the game a bit just because I was feeling that there was a little bit of a burn in terms of people viewing it, because the episodes were a little bit shorter, so we had a lot of them, and they were too far apart. So maybe it'll be back. It's definitely coming back because I really did like King's Quest, and it was a nostalgia trip for me. So that'll be coming back. Don't worry about it. It will come back. As for new games, we have, of course, more indie games, which is what I really like to look at. Sometimes we have some indie games that are doing really, really well, and that, you know, sort of become mainstreamy. But, yeah. So, the first game that we're going to be looking at, or one of the games that we're going to be looking at, is Super Hot. which is this weird matrixy, slow-motion shooter strategy combat thing. That's not really an appropriate description for the game, but it's really cool. I mean, I haven't played. I know that there's other games that sort of play with this notion of if you move, then time progresses. But I never really did that, so we'll see how that goes. As for the next one, which is something that I've been really meaning to play, and I was sort of introduced to it as I was playing Firewatch, so I thought it was really nice correlation there, and that is The Long Dark. Now, The Long Dark is a survival game, so it's not like Firewatch. It's actually a sandbox survival game. It's set in mountains and forests. There are actually several maps around it, and it's in the dead of winter. So this is really relevant. It's a Canadian independent game as well, which is kind of fun for us to look at, because it just dives into what it is to possibly be stranded in this hostile winter environment. And trying to survive. It's amazing and it's brutal. I've actually already recorded the first couple of episodes for that, and before that I had played about 2 or 3 times, and I've died without exception. So it's really brutal, but it's really awesome. It looks really cool as well. It's still in development, which means that there's still a lot more content that'll be coming out for that game, which automatically means that we won't be doing the type of let's play or playthrough that'll be from the beginning to the end, because right now it's just sandbox mode. So we'll probably set ourselves some goals, and we'll play that, and we might go back to it later in the future. But it's awesome, and I think you're really going to enjoy that. And that's really what's on the plate right now. There was somebody asked if I was still interested in doing the Game of Thrones Telltale game. I was really down for doing it, but then I started reading a lot of the reviews and a lot of the comments, and it turns out that there's not much you can do to change the results of the game, and it just does some really sloppy switching around of characters, which is kind of really lazy game design. So I decided not to do that. So anyways, that's pretty much what's going on. I don't want to keep this too long, so I'm going to cut it there. But, keep on watching, because we have a lot of stuff coming up that's going to be great and amazing. So, as always, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. But remember to like the videos, because that always helps us out. So until next time, everybody, take it easy.